Good evening, everybody. And let me just start, first of all, by congratulating Kwong Kow School for its 100th anniversary. You know, I'm 59 years old, and in the job I have right now, there are a lot of times when 59 seems like a really long time. I just have to start by saying that 100 years, when you think about all the things that have happened and all the things that have changed over the course of a century, which is the length of time that this school has been part of your community, the amount of complexity that would be associated with being able to adapt to the constant changes in technology, culture, the economy, Boston, Massachusetts, in politics, and all the rest, and at the same time be able to hold on to sort of the core values and the core elements of what makes the school special is an enormous accomplishment, and one that obviously has been passed down from one generation to the next with a message of history, tradition, and commitment. There are a lot of great organizations out there that never make it to their 100th birthday. You should be enormously proud by what you've accomplished. It's hard to know what to say about Uncle Frank. So I'm actually going to start by talking about Janet Wu. After Karen Polito and I got elected lieutenant governor and governor, Janet, who as many people know is sort of the dean of the political reporter community, called our office, our campaign office, and said that she wanted me to come out lunch with her in Chinatown. This was the lunch when Frank came by and paid us a visit because Frank is everywhere and knows everyone and knows everything. So we sit down and Janet starts to order in Chinese. The whole conversation about everything that was going to land in front of me was in a language I couldn't even begin to understand. And so I would say, as one plate after another would land, well, what's that? And Janet would say, oh, you should just try it. And to this day, I have absolutely no idea what it is. But it was great. And the most important thing about it was it gave me a little insight into Janet. I've known Janet for a long time. I've stopped saying how long I know people, because when you put the numbers on those, it sounds kind of scary. So instead, I just say I've known her for a long time. She covered the State House when I worked for Bill Weld and Paul Cellucci in their cabinets back in the 1990s. But I've always known Janet exclusively as a reporter. Not a lot of small talk, just a ton of questions I would rather not answer. And as I watched her interact with the folks in the restaurant, and watched her interact with Frank, and had a chance to see her in her element and not mine, I got some sense about how important her heritage and her culture and sort of the core of who she is and will always be is to her. And I think in some respects that's part of what makes Chinatown so fundamental and the school so important to all of you. Because it's a big part of who you are and what you want to be at your core. And as somebody who believes, and I said this a million times during the course of the campaign, the great states are built on the backs of great communities. You represent a shining star as a great community here in the city of Boston and in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Community, more than anything, creates for all of us a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, a sense of comfort and security that makes it possible for us to take chances and to take risks. And one of the things that makes Uncle Frank so special, I've heard more Uncle Frank stories. Let's just say I've heard a lot of Uncle Frank stories. But the interesting thing about those stories is when you hear all the stories before you meet them, and I heard a lot of them before I met them, and I heard them from Mayor Menino, I heard them from Governor Weld, I heard them from Governor Slucci, and many others. You would swear that Uncle Frank was 10 feet tall, had a big red cape, big S on his chest, or a big C, depending on how you wanted to define it. Sort of this Superman. And one of the things that makes both Uncle Frank and Auntie Kay so special is while we all hear stories and tell stories about their work and what they do in the superlative way they support this community time and time again, they are so modest and so unassuming, almost to the point of sort of off shots. Now, I remember the first time I went to visit Sherry and Uncle Frank when I was running for governor. I walked up about 6,500 stairs. Sherry. We get to a very nondescript office where we sat there and just talked about all kinds of stuff. No great demands, no pounding of the fist on the table, no chest thumping. And believe me, when you're campaigning for governor, you see a lot of that. Just somebody who wanted to talk a bit about the history of this community and its hopes and dreams for its future. And I remember walking out of there and thinking that I just met somebody really special. Somebody whose allegiance and whose character was firm, but was about as normal and regular a person as you'd ever meet anywhere. And that, in some respects, is what makes both of them so special. It's hard when people have such high expectations of you to stay grounded in sort of that off-shucks manner that he brings to almost everything. Which is why my wife and I were so pleased to be here tonight to celebrate both the 100th anniversary of the school and to say how much we appreciate everything Uncle Frank and Auntie Kay have done for this community. The other thing I have to do is I have to tell a story about this, which some of you may have heard before. So, Representative Don Long and Uncle Frank, at one point during the campaign, on another visit to Chinatown, took me for a walk on a hot August day through the heart of the community, in and out of about 1,000 stores and shops, one type or another. And there was a whole lot of talking going on, none of which I understood. But I think it was mostly good because our signs started to appear in some of those. And eventually we worked our way over to the volleyball courts, where there was this monstrous tournament going on. And we watched the volleyball for a while, shook a few hands, and a fellow came up to me and he handed me this. Now, I thought he was collecting money to pay for the tournament. So I reached in my pocket and I took a few bucks out and I put it into it and I handed it back to him. And he gave me this look like, you are the stupidest man. He took the money out, and he handed it back to me, and then he opened it up, and he took out the $2 bill. He put it back in, and he said, for luck. Now, when you're a Republican in Massachusetts, you're running for governor. And you've run once before and you've lost. And you're terrified of having your obituary someday say, Charles D. Baker, who ran for governor twice in Massachusetts and lost. And when I discovered a cure for cancer and a whole bunch of other stuff, when someone says, for luck, you put that in your pocket and you take it out. Now this, I don't know who he is. I went back there last summer looking for him. But all I know is I carried this around in my pocket every single day since the summer of August 2014. And I don't know if this is where the 40,000 votes we won by came from. I don't care. What I do know is I carry a little piece of that very special optimism and warmth and sense of community you have all done such a fabulous job of building around with me, close to my heart.